Jonathan Butcher is here from the Heritage Foundation and a senior fellow at the Goldwater Institute. Mr. Butcher, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Man, really good to talk to you. Excellent bow tie. What's the union's play here? Why are they doing this? Why are they keeping schools shut down?
Well, in large metro areas in particular, the unions simply have said there's not a plan that they think is safe enough for their members. Now, in reality, what they have done as recently as last summer and then through the fall is use the headlines that this has generated to emphasize their other political aims. They've talked about things like forgiving rents and mortgages and then gotten into issues of defunding police and school security.
Insane. Where do they think they'll get, because it's money, right? So it comes down to those issues and more money. Where do they think this more money is going to come from? They obviously have leverage, right? They have leverage of keeping kids out of school. Where's the money going to come from that's going to make them ultimately open schools back up?
Well, leaders of the NEA and the AFT, the two largest teacher unions, had a photo up at the White House just a couple of weeks ago. And so they definitely have the ear of the administration. And the administration has been talking about a very sizable COVID package, again, with well over $100 billion that would go to K-12 schools. So additional money to schools with requirements from the CDC that you maintain 6 feet of distance between students means more hiring of teachers, which in places that have strong union control could mean additional union members.
That's it. That's what I was getting at. I couldn't put it together, Jonathan, because I knew it'd be more money, but I was like, okay, but how's that money going to get to the union's hands? But that's what it is. So it's more teachers.
Well, the frustrating thing, I think, is that in districts like Chicago and Philadelphia, where the district leaders and even the mayor in some cases had called teachers back to in-person learning, the unions said that they decided to flex their muscle and say, no teachers aren't going to go back. And unfortunately, the districts and the cities have acquiesced so far, and they've said, okay, teachers don't have to come back. Chicago said that they reached an agreement with the unions on this, but really the unions got everything that they asked for. I mean, they delayed reopenings for at least a month at the time of the agreement, which was 3 weeks ago, and there still is no plan for high school students to get back in class. So that's a real concern, right? I mean, you certainly want all children to have the best option that we can give them right now, but to have some plan for some students and no plan for others, it shouldn't satisfy anyone.
Oh, it's so crazy, too, because the private schools, I can speak to San Diego, the private schools have been open for months and no major outbreaks, teachers aren't dying. Right, because of the private schools that are open. So we have a case study. It's not even like we have to look to England, where you can maybe make an argument that there's differences in the population or culture or behavior or whatever. You're just looking within the cities. And in Berkeley, California, up near San Francisco, the head of the teachers union dropped his preschooler off at a private preschool, but still keeps the public schools closed. What do the unions say about the science, Jonathan?
Well, I think any parent, right, has the right to send their child to the best learning experience, best learning option that they can get. But likewise, they don't have the right to block that same experience from anyone else. And that's what unions have done for decades, right? Generations, effectively. But especially in the past 30 years, as we've had the rise of charter schools and private school scholarships. And just the cities that I was talking about, right? Chicago and Philadelphia, especially in Chicago, and then also LA, the unions there are the ones who have blocked the creation of additional charter schools in those cities, right? Charter schools in the U.S. serve as a percent, a larger percentage of children from low-income homes and minority students. And so these unions are blocking the creation of new options that would help these very students who oftentimes are the ones who need the most assistance.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.